Hey guys, it's Dana and it's Tuesday and we're going to talk about money. And today I want to talk about what is the debt snowball, because recently I've been getting a lot of comments telling me that I don't know what the debt snowball is. So let's talk about that. Okay, so the debt snowball is part of a 7-step plan called the Total Money Makeover, created by Dave Ramsey. So the Total Money Makeover has 7 steps, and they're called baby steps, which he came up with that name from the What About Bob movie, which I love that movie. So I really like that idea that he took that name from the movie. Anyway, so baby step 2 is where you pay off your debt, where you will be utilizing the debt snowball method. If you don't have any debt, then you won't be doing a debt snowball. You'll move into baby step 3, which is building your emergency fund. However, baby step 2 is where you list out all of your debts, smallest to largest, excluding your home. So this doesn't include your home. If you're paying off a mortgage, you're going to save that for a later step. So you list out all of your debts, and you're going to pay minimum payments on everything except for the smallest debt. And the smallest debt, you're going to hit it as hard as you can with as much money as you can. And you just want to slam it, get it out of your life. You want to kill it as fast as possible. And then as soon as you pay it off, then you take whatever money you had been spending each month for that or paying on that debt, you take that money and you roll it to the next smallest debt. And that's where the snowball comes into play, where each time you roll down the list to the next smallest debt, then your payment should be getting bigger and hairier and making more impact to really attack it and to get all that debt out of your life. So the snowball is going to kind of roll down the hill and get larger as it goes. And that is, in essence, the debt snowball, so that you can get out of debt as fast as possible, because if you don't have any debt, then you don't have as many payments. And if you don't have payments, then what you have is money. And the best line I ever heard was on Dave Ramsey's radio show. Someone was doing their debt-free scream, and he said he was so excited to be out of debt because that meant that he was now working for his future and not working to pay off his past. And I think that was such a great line, because I really feel that when you're working and you're paying all your money that you make is going towards debt, then it really impacts the way you interview, the way you work at your job, the jobs you might accept. It just impacts all aspects of your life, because it's not a good feeling to be working to pay off things that you did in your past, right? Like your school loans, maybe you bought an expensive car. I mean, you could have school loans around for 10 years. That's 10 years ago that you went to school and you're still working to pay off that degree. All right. So my sister likes to call this whole thing, she has a blast chart. So they blast each debt from smallest to largest, and they have it listed out in a chart. And so you can call it whatever you want, but basically you're just trying to get angry with it, to attack it. And the reason it's smallest to largest and not highest interest rate to lowest interest rate is because you want to have some feeling of progress. You want to feel like you are, paying things off. And if you're paying off the highest interest rate, it might take longer if that's a higher balance. And then you're not going to feel like you're doing very much, or you might get discouraged. And that's not going to help you to sort of feel like you're winning at what you're doing, because you want to have hope that you can do it. When you lose hope, then it's going to be really hard to attack the debt if you don't have any hope. So paying off the smallest with as much money as you can, and if you get it paid off, you're going to feel like you can cross it off your list, or you can, check it off your blast chart or your snowball chart, or however you want to do it. People get really creative with how to create different things that they can physically go and cross it off, and it makes you feel so good to know that and then you can see the list getting smaller and smaller, and then you're more likely to stick with it, to work harder, to try to find some side jobs to earn extra money, to pay it off. And if you're working your snowball though, goes back to another video of mine. If you are making minimum payments on everything, and after you pay your rent or your mortgage, after you buy food, you pay for daycare, then you only can make the minimum payments on everything. You can't pay any extra. Then you're still paying off your debt, but you're not really snowballing your debt, because you can't pay that big extra hunky payment chunky payment, hunky chunky. You can't pay a big extra payment towards the smallest debt. So it's not really a snowball then. It's just kind of you're paying minimum payments until you can increase or your earnings or decrease your expenses so that you can get a bigger payment to really chunk away at it and get that snowball moving, right? So that is what the debt snowball is, invented by Dave Ramsey, although lots of other financial advisors have probably just named it something else and used the same technique, but it's listing the debts smallest to largest in balance and really going after that smallest balance and trying to pay it off as fast as possible. So if you were paying $500 a month to that smallest balance and then you pay it off, then you roll that $500 to the next debt plus the minimum payment, whatever you had been paying on it. So it might go up to $600 a month then that you're paying, but it's always the same amount per month that you're paying towards your debts. You're just rolling the payment down. So if you pay off something, it's not like you're going to take that payment that you were making and say, oh, now we have extra money in our budget. No, you take that money and you roll it down to the next one. So every month you're paying the same amount of money towards debt, and it should be the maximum amount of money that you can squeeze out of your budget to, continue to get rid of all of that. And then once it's all gone, when you get down to the bottom, you probably will have this massive payment to get it paid off really quickly. And then when you finish paying off all your debt, then you have completed your debt snowball and you move on to baby step 3, which is creating a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And then you can move on down the line through the baby steps. And I have another video highlighting all of the different baby steps if you'd like to see that. But the whole plan is called the Total Money Makeover. And the baby step number 2 is the snowball. Snowball is just baby step number 2. All right? Okay, guys, if it's your first time here, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm here every single Tuesday talking all about money. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.